Yeah, this is DIY 101 over here.
They look so good!
Alright, so in our previous video, we basically cut all the wood that matched the design that we originally planned, and everything pretty much turned out okay in our opinion.
Yeah, it's pretty good, especially considering that we don't have any experience in cutting wood.
Yeah, but it's a little bit rough on the edges, so we're going to be doing sanding and we're going to stain the wood today.
Here's what we will be using today. We have our stain of choice, some wood preconditioner, brushes, rags, and sanding paper. We'll also be using a sanding oscillator. Okay, so to get started, we're actually going to use 80 grit to sand everything, and then we're gonna move on to 220 grit to smooth everything out before we use this conditioner, this wood conditioner, so that the stain that we're gonna be using doesn't seep through the birch wood that we have here, the plywood. Sold?
Good. So Yvonne is actually going to get more sandpaper because we're using 80 grit, but to get around all of these like edges, the 80 is not doing well. So I think we're gonna go down to 50 and maybe something even, stronger than that. I didn't realize that the sanding machine was gonna be so loud and it's kind of obnoxious. So I think it's better to just try and get a really strong grit just to get this over with, and then we could do the conditioner. And I'm pretty sure that we're not even gonna get that done today. We'll probably get that done tomorrow.
I took basically like all of the...
Really? How many did you get? Oh damn, I don't think we needed that much.
I was like, whatever.
All right, that's fine.
I was there.
This is really strong right here. All right, let's see how this goes. So we created a sanding station. Yvonne's gonna be working with the oscillator, doing the hard rough edges over there. And then right now I'm using actually a sanding block, which is a 220 grit. And I'm just going around all of the edges and then on the side. And then after that, we have to get all of this wood pretty much sanded. So that will take some time. And I guess once all that is over with, we could do the conditioning. All right, so the sun is about to set and we actually just finished pretty much sanding everything. In case anyone is interested in doing this exact build, we will put all of the materials that we used in the description below. But there's one thing that you might want to consider. Over here is the 1x6, so we had to actually cut a 1/2 inch so that we're gonna glue it on top. When you put the top layer, it sits on here and the wood does not actually touch directly. So that's why we are including this 1/2 inch.
And you want it to level out so that the plywood doesn't bend.
If that makes sense.
We're engineers here, hello.
Yeah, this is DIY 101 over here. So yeah, what we're using right now is Tight Bond, which is a wood glue.
And it's $7.49.
Yeah. And we're just gonna put a nice small layer of it on here, and then we're just gonna stick it right on there. We don't have clamps because you kind of want to just clamp this down, but wood glue is better than using screws.
Well, for specifically this one, just because it's so thin that if you screw it on, it would crack. Oh, this is gonna be so satisfying. It's like icing a cake.
And you actually, from what I saw online, you could actually use your finger and just kind of...
Yeah, that's what I'm going to plan on. Dude, but this is so satisfying. Even it out.
All right, so that's it for today. Tomorrow we're gonna come back, and that's when we're gonna be putting the stain. If the stain can dry, then we hope that we could start putting everything in the back and start screwing it and nailing it all together. But we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, so we're at the next process. We applied a preconditioner to put on top of the wood so that when we put the stain, it doesn't seep in and become really blotchy.
Staining the wood is really not necessary, but you know, we wanted the wood to be a little bit darker for our preference.
And if you guys are wondering what's behind the wood right there, that's actually our rooftop tent.
It came in, and that's gonna be another video.
Yeah,
so
that's basically our home right here.
This whole thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to be using a polyurethane stain in color Royal Walnuts.
Did you shake it? Did you stir it?
Mm-hmm.
It's not looking like how I thought it was going to look. Can you use the shirt?
Let's see.
Because it doesn't look like there's any color coming out. What the hell?
It's probably going to dry dark.
No, that's not how stains work.
Oh.
They color. It's like coloring. I think you're supposed to mix it.
With what?
I don't know. Let's find out.
Alright, we need to get a stick.
Alright, take two.
Take two. Stir it up.
As you can tell, guys, we obviously have no idea what we're doing. I think you have to stir it because the pigments are on the bottom. Because it's not supposed to look basically natural.
Like nothing.
Look, this is
Yeah.
so brown. Alright, let's test this out now.
That's what it's supposed to look like. Oh, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Learn from our mistakes, guys.
Alright, so me personally, I'm not very happy with the way it's coming out, at least on this piece of wood. This is a birch plywood, so we're going to try it on here. It's just not seeping in the way that I expected it to. But
yeah, and also we didn't sand this, so there's like...
Yeah, we didn't sand it like really well. Let's just wait a few minutes and see how it turns out. I mean, it's darker.
It's dark. Yeah, this is, I think, definitely what it's supposed to
I would actually put a second layer on.
be. Yeah. Yeah, so you definitely have to sand it really well, like smooth it out. Like this is not...
This one we didn't sand.
We didn't really sand it. We didn't think that having it really smooth like this matters, but it does. Sand it at least until
all the marks are
the
gone.
marks are gone. Oh wow.
Alright, so we just finished the first layer, and it actually turned out much better than I expected, at least. We're actually gonna put a second coat on just to make it a little bit darker, but this is what we have so far. So the trick is to use like a sponge brush and just go lightly across, and then leave it on for maybe a minute or two, or 5 minutes, depending on how long or how dark you want the stain to be. And then after, you just use a cloth and you just wipe it, just like that. And for this stain, on the back it says to wait 6 hours. I think we could wait less than that before we put on a second coat, because we're not using too much stain. So this bothered us too much. We went to the garage, picked up the sander, so we're gonna fix this problem right now. put one layer of stain on all the pieces of wood. They're still drying, but we're gonna put another layer soon. And then we're just gonna let it dry overnight. So we're gonna see you guys tomorrow. We could nail and start screwing all this together in the back of the car.
You guys, it looks so good.
That looks so good.
It looks so good. I don't care. I don't care if it's not perfect. It looks good.
It looks like we bought it this color.
Yeah.
I'm so surprised the stain worked this well. So the stain took longer than we expected to dry. So we're gonna just kind of start putting it together. This project is much longer than we anticipated. All right, mark it. So since we have a nail gun, we're not going to put too much wood glue, just a couple of drops along here. And we're going to start by first nailing this, and then after we're going to nail all of it up to the first platform.
Here to there.
Yeah, we'll show you.
Yeah.
We'll show you. All right, so add a couple of drops. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's not too bad.
It's just to give a little bit
more hold.
All right, do you know how to use a nail gun, Yvonne?
Oh, I'll film you.
I don't know how to use a nail gun. I never used it. It's a compressor nail gun.
That's
so
scary.
Yeah. It's not.
Have you ever seen Final Destination?
Yeah, I have. All right, here we go. Let's get this started. Sweet shirt. Ooh, that's
oh my
cool.
god.
Yeah. So before we even do the next process, we actually mark the bottom where we have to drill the holes so that we could put one of these bolts. It's an M6 bolt that goes directly into the car. Is it the right way? You gotta make sure, man. Good? Yeah.
Are you doing it on the right spot? As long as you're going the straight line.
Yeah.
I don't think you are.
Then I might be off, right?
You're so off. Oh my god. That's why I was asking you. Are you sure you could see on the other side? What do you mean?
No, they went through. It's good. It's good. I can't see over here. As long as it went through. I mean, we didn't put any.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
A little off, huh? That's alright. It was off by like a quarter of an inch.
Look, you start from here, and then this is not straight. It's not straight.
That's okay. It's not the...
First level?
Yeah, it's not the worst.
Okay.
Alright, let's put this away. It's gonna rain tomorrow. When you're ready. Okay, so the next part of the assembly is trying to get this piece of 2x6 to connect with this 2x4 underneath. So we were thinking of just different options. One was just doing maybe like pocket holes. But I think we're gonna just try and make some pilot holes on the top, and then using like a really long screw like this to try and just connect these, and then also use wood glue because we just don't want, while we're on the road, for it to kind of like wobble or crack or anything like that. Yeah, so we figured that this would probably have happened, but it didn't go straight right on through. And I mean, it looks straight over here, but it didn't go through on this side. So we're gonna try doing pocket holes. I mean, regardless, we're gonna put a lot of glue and it will hold, but we just want that extra security.
My God, I can't. I'm crying because I started cracking up out of nowhere because I had, what would you call that?
Existential, like, moment.
We're trying to figure out how to do this thing. and like I had a moment of like, what are we doing? John like trying to figure this out, and I was like, what am I doing with this dude trying to figure out how to screw wood together? What is happening? And I started cracking up. How funny it is. Like who would have thought 11 years ago I would be sitting here at a bucket? I'm sitting here in a bucket trying to figure out
how to make pocket holes.
We had to do this just to see where it goes. Oh my God, I can't.
And now I'm like sitting here with the freaking 2x6, trying to find out how to connect it to a 2x4.
Look at how we look like. I'm sitting in a bucket.
Well, let's try it.
Okay. Wait, is it straight? Let me make sure it's straight.
Oh, I don't know, man. How do you?
This is not straight. Okay. Oh my God.
Right? And then we did it!
Right in the middle, as we
works.
planned.
Oh, this is awesome. I burned myself. Because when the wood goes through this, it gets hot.
Yeah.
Friction.
Can I do it?
You want to do it?
Yeah.
It's mad fun. Press it. Press it. Now out. Moment of truth. Let's see if this works.
That's it. You're doing it! Oh.
You could probably even go more than that.
You gotta put wood glue.
Well, you know what? It's good, but it's definitely not
Steady.
the best.
No.
I'm just gonna have to drill it in more. All right, let's put wood glue.
Yeah, a little bit.
I think it's gonna be solid.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
good.
solid.
Oh my God.
Ready?
Stable. That's it then, cracking it.
Now it's stable. Feel it.
Yeah. We're doing the other side. It's looking good.
So this is the final layer. We don't have the nail gun today, but we're just gonna get this done by putting some glue under it, and then I already made a couple of nails that I'm gonna just put in manually.
After this is it.
To me, this is like as close to perfect as we could have gotten it.
Like it
Yeah.
was so hard with the
Just a handsaw to do
handsaw.
everything.
to keep it straight, and then when the wood is not straight, they don't line up.
Like, here's a perfect example. Look at this piece of wood right here. You could tell, you see, like it's not perfectly straight, especially now that we've added this to weigh it all down.
Do you want to cut it?
We could cut this a little bit, yeah. See, we're not shy to fix these errors. We're actually kind of picky about this stuff.
Oh yeah, we are.
Because we know it will bother us. Because we just have to take the time to correct it.
We always try our best.
There you go.
Hey! Look at that! Like, nothing happened.
I think it's time to start the electrical.
Yeah, we have to make that a priority.
We still have some things that we're gonna have to do. First, we're gonna do the electrical, which will be in the next video, and then after that is done, then we could put the fridge and the slide, and then we could basically add everything else, and we should be on our way sooner than later. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care.
Bye! If I keep doing this, I'm actually gonna learn. I'm gonna convince myself I know what I'm talking about.
All of the edges around here, but the 80s actually just did that. Okay, so we're on the next part of the process. We already stained everything. No, sanded everything. Take 2. Ready?
Okay, so we're gonna be using a polyurethane.
So just say it's a stain and polyurethane mix.
Polyurethane. So we're actually gonna polyurethane. Ah, I said it.